Session. Now sharing my screen. Okay. So again, I welcome you all to the sessions of data analysis. So today's session was the second free class for you all. The first free class was happened on two times regarding some of you might have attended yesterday and some of you might have attended maybe on last Saturday. But for all of you people, today's class is going to be the second free class. Today's class, I am going to make you understand about the technical aspects of the data analysis steps that are involved. In the last class, I have only covered about theoretical basis. I'll just quickly do the recap of what has been happened in the first class. So we have been try to understand about the three W's. What is data analysis? Why we are using data analysis and where we are using data analysis. After that, I have explained you about what are the steps that are involved in the data analysis. Later, I mentioned what are the skills that we are going to learn here and how the skills are going to be taught means with every skill, a project, and you can attend any skill any number of times except statistics. Every skill will be covered with a project and free installation of the softwares, and the class timings are 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and we have other class time as well, 9:30 to 10:30. If people are interested, you can attend in both the hours and complete the course within less amount of time. Overall duration is going to be 4 months of time it is going to take. Okay, so those are some things which we have discussed in the last class, which are some of the important things related to. So today's class I would be going to explain you regarding the steps involved in the data analysis in a technical way. So what are the steps involved in the data analysis? Yesterday, as I mentioned, first thing is about understanding the business requirements, right? Understanding understanding the business requirements. And the second step is about data collection, or else you can call it as gathering. The third step is about the data cleaning, or else I can also consider this data cleaning step also as transformations, data transformations. And the fourth step is called as data visualization, or else creating the reports. Okay, and the fifth one is about share with the clients, sharing with the clients. So that is about the details which we have been uh, that means what are the steps that are being discussed in the classroom. Okay, so I explained these steps with respect to some real-time examples. Also with respect to the cooking process, I have taken an example. So today what I wanted to discuss with you people is what are the technical terminology we can use in this. So yesterday when I discussed about the types of data what you can get from the different types of business, for example in the banking sector, I mentioned that you can get the data from the customers, or else the transactions the customers are going to make, and the savings related information, the loans related information, the insurance related information. In the same manner for the Amazon also I mentioned the customers, the orders, the products. These are all the data the companies are going to store. So now here I would be going to explain you people regarding how the data can be stored and where it can be stored. So coming to the real-time scenarios, the data can be stored in multiple places. For example, in your day-to-day life, suppose you want to store some kind of an Excel, you will be going to store it in your laptops or your computers, or you take some photos, you can be going to store it in your mobile also. That is an internal storage. But in the real-time scenarios, the internal storage is not going to be sufficient. Why? The data will be coming in huge number. As I mentioned, you take any of an Zomato company or an Swiggy, which is in the doing online deliveries, they'll be going to deal with some lakhs or millions of data. You can't able to store that much of data in the Excel or even in your laptops also. Just like if you can see, your mobile is going to have some internal memory of 128 GB. Even though you people what will do, the photos and all you will store in the Google Drives, right? You'll be going to upload them to the Google Drives and you'll be going to store that photos in that Google Drive so that your space can be saved. In the same manner, the laptops or the computers can't able to store the entire data in the organizations, or even if you store them also, it is not in a secure manner, right? Security is definitely going to miss. somebody can misuse the data. So that is the reason why always the data will be stored in some servers or in some cloud network areas. Okay, so coming to the cloud network, in the sense you can have Azure, which is Microsoft Cloud Service, AWS, Amazon Web Services, and GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform. These three are the most used to like cloud partners in any kind of a company. So you can say the data can be stored, for example, this much of big amount of different subjects of data. When you have, you can able to store these subjects of data in different places. For example, Oracle, Oracle servers, or else let me say SQL server, or I can say like in the Azure, you might be having the data. In the AWS, you might be storing the data. In the GCP, you might be storing the data. Okay. So in the bank also, this loans data can be stored in the Oracle, or this customers data can be stored in the Azure. In one company also, in multiple places, the different subjects of data can be stored. That is possible. So this is the places where your data will be residing. From this, you are going to collect or gather the data. What is the data you needed? As an example I mentioned, suppose you are doing some loans related analysis, you need some data for the loans. So you are going to identify where is this loans related data is present. So it might be present in Oracle, or it can be present in the Azure. So the company or the client is going to say that, okay, this data was residing in this particular place. Or sometimes it is also possible that, suppose you take the loans data for the 2024 year, they might be stored in Oracle. The 2023 year, they might have stored in the Azure. You need to bring from two different places, only the loans data only. But for 1 year, they store it in the Oracle. But for the another year, they have stored it in the Azure. You need to pull the data from two different places, right? So that is also going to be the crucial part. So the data cannot, means not going to be easy manner to get. That is the reason why the data collection or gathering is a very important step as well. So you are going to get the data from these particular places, and you are going to, what I am in this process, what you are going to follow, you are going to do some ETL process. What is meant by ETL? So the ETL stands for extract, okay, transform, and then load. So what is this ETL? Full form is extract, transform, and load. You're going to extract the data from where? It can be in the Oracle, or it can be in the Azure, or it can be from the both also. You are going to extract the data, means getting the data. In this process of getting the data, in the same time, you're going to transform the data, means some part of data cleaning you are going to do at the time you are going to extract it. A simple example, what type of transformations do you think can we do? For example, simply see guys, I will tell with respect to some date values. So date can be written in multiple formats. Suppose today's date you take, it is August 20th 2025, right? So I can write this in this manner, August 20th 2025. Or I can also write in this manner, first of all month, and then day, and then year, in the USA format. Or else you can also write down first of all year, followed by month, followed by day. Or else 20 hyphen 2025. So date can be stored in multiple kind of ways. Or else somebody will also write down the date like 20th of August 2025. Like this, somebody have written. See, date is same. All these values are going to say that date is 20th of August 2025. But the writing format is different. So you need to maintain a single format among all the, in the Oracle, one type of date format you might be going to get. In the Azure, getting the data, one format might be there. But in the end, when you are extracting the data, you need to maintain a consistency with the date format. This is a small example I am saying what type of transformation we can do. Okay, so by all of these, you are going to maintain a single consistency. That can be anything among this. Whatever is the better way, they will be going to store the date in one single format. That is a small example for the transformation. Once you transform the data, next thing is what? You need to store this entire transformed data in one place. You are getting from different places, you are extracting it and transforming it, and you need to store it in some place again. So that is the place where I am going to call it as the data warehouse or databases, the data warehouse or database. So in the data warehouse, you are going to store the data from different kind of source systems. We call it as a source system. Oracle one source system, Azure one source system, like this. Okay, so different source systems, you are getting the data and storing in a central repository. The data warehouse is what? Data, I'm writing DWH, stands for data warehouse, is a central repository of data. Central repository of data of a enterprise. Enterprise in the sense it's a company kind of thing. Okay, it's a central repository of data of a enterprise for a company. You take Infosys as a company. Infosys entire data will be going to be stored in one single repository that is called as a data warehouse. So in that place, I am going to bring this entire loans data from different source systems. I extracted the data, transformed it, and loaded the data into the data warehouse. So once you have the data, you can look in the data in the data warehouse. Upon that also, again, you need to perform some data cleaning activities. Okay, the entire transformations is not meant for cleaning. You are only going to do some part of transformations. So according to your requirements, again the data cleaning needs to be done upon this data warehouse also. Okay, so remember that I'm not writing is in this place. So remember, in the data warehouse data, you need to again perform the data cleaning as well. So once you have got the data, what is this data is used for? Data visualization or Power BI reports you can create from this. I am writing, either you can load it to the Power BI, or you can load it to the Python from here, or you can load it to the Tableau from here. You can load it to any place. You can load the data to all of these by using the SQL as a knowledge. I hope you are able to understand how the skills that we are going to learn are related here. SQL is going to communicate with this database or data warehouse, and it is going to bring you the data. Using that data, you can load that into the Power BI or Python or Tableau, and you can able to do your work as a data analyst. Okay, I hope you people are able to understand how this is, all the skills are related. You might wonder, where is the statistics? Statistics is actually a subject to make you understand your analysis. It is not like a Python or a Tableau or a Power BI. In the Python or Power BI or Tableau, if you wanted to find out, tell me what is the average sales I got in this particular country. Average. What is average? It's a statistical result. Tell me what is the mode or what is the standard deviation. Okay, so these are all things are actually statistical results. So statistics is involved in each and every subject here. Okay, statistics is involved in the SQL also. You want to find average, or you want to find the sum or count or whatever it might be, we call that as a statistical summary. It is being involved in each and every skill of your data analysis. So that is the reason why we are also going to start with statistics in the next class. I'm going to explain from tomorrow's class what about the statistics and how you can calculate those things mathematically. Okay, so that is about the skills. As I mentioned, we are going to use SQL as a skill to maintain the reports or create generating some insights in these tools. Okay, after you prepare the reports, the insights, or whatever you are going to find out the outputs, these things will be going to be shared with the clients. Share with the clients. So I hope you people are able to resemble the steps what you have been discussed yesterday. Whatever the steps we discussed yesterday, I only mentioned those in the theoretical basis, but today by using some technical terminology I have been explained. So again, I'm repeating on the whole. If you want to analyze some data, first of all you need to get the data. Before getting the data, you should know what is the business requirement, what are they expecting from me. Okay, you came to know that loans data they wanted me to analyze in that bank, but you came to know that this loans data different years is being stored in different servers. In the Oracle 1 year, in the Azure 1 year, or in 1 year of SQL server is there. You need to bring the data from multiple places and transform that data, and you are going to load that data into a central repository called as data warehouse. From this data warehouse, you are going to feed the data into the Power BI or Python or Tableau using the SQL as a medium there, and you're going to prepare those reports, and later you're going to share with the client. That is the overall step-by-step process. Okay, so in this, when I mentioned about the ETL, there is an another process the companies are also going to use. We call that step as ELT. Okay, ETL or ELT. Only difference you are going to find between these two, as the names itself see, T and L are reversed. TL became LT. But what is L and what is T is same. In this ETL or ELT, E stands for extract only, L stands for load only, T stands for transform only. but which step is performed where is just changed. So how you can understand this ELT means, you're going to extract the data first. Without doing any transformation, you will directly load that to the data warehouse. Later, you will perform the transformations. I hope you people are able to understand. In the ELT, I'm first of all going to extract the data from different source systems. It can be Oracle or GCP or whatever it might be. I will bring the data, extract the data, and I will directly load it into the data warehouse. Later, whenever I read that data, I will perform the transformations and data cleaning. Okay, so that is the small difference between ETL and ELT. So the companies can use anything, but the process is same. The skill you are going to learn is same. There is no change is going to happen. Okay, so this is the latest things related to the data analysis flow chart, or else I can say the workflow of yours when you get a job as a data analyst as well. Okay, so I will also now going to make you understand regarding the skills part, because yesterday's class or in the demo sessions I might not have separately mentioned regarding what are the skills and what are the tools that I'm going to use, how much is the duration. Of course, somebody might have asked the doubt and I explained, but again, let me cover from the beginning. Okay, so what are the skills that I am going to teach you people here is, it's going to be Excel, it's going to be statistics. Okay, sorry, it's going to be in the statistics, and after that it would be SQL. We have a Power BI, and we have a Power BI or else Tableau, and we have a Python. Okay, so all these skills I am going to teach you people here. In this, Excel is going to take almost some 13 to 15 hours of class. 13 to 15 hours of class it will take. And in the statistics, hardly 5 to 7 hours you can consider the classes, because it's only not any tool or not any programming is involved in that, only mathematical based I'll explain. And coming to the SQL, it is going to take some 25 to 30 hours of duration. This is the most crucial skill for a data analyst. Okay, the Power BI, let me write in other line otherwise. The Power BI, it is going to be again 25 to 30 hours of sessions. Tableau is going to be around 15 hours of session. The Python is going to take again around 35 hours of session. So the most time taking skills here is going to be Python, Power BI, and SQL. Those are the most important skills. Tableau is an alternate for the Power BI. If you can master one thing among the two, among the Power BI and Tableau, that is sufficient as a data analyst. Instead of learning 10 skills, only basic things, mastering the 5 skills on a advanced basis is going to be the better way and suggestible manner. So that is the reason why the Tableau classes also we are covering, but I would be going to provide you the sessions regarding the Tableau. Power BI is going to be the most crucial skill for us. I will be going to take the live classes for you for the Power BI. Okay, but Tableau also we are going to cover for you people. So all the skills I am only going to teach as I mentioned, but as I mentioned, right, the guys here the Excel is going to be like an additional skill for you to get better chances. Using the Excel, we can't able to perform the data analysis because Excel can't handle the huge amounts of data. Even you can say, I will show you in here itself. If you open this Excel, this is a Microsoft Excel, right? This is a blank thing. No data was present as of now. How many rows of data does Excel can handle? Okay, that is a question I'm going to answer. How many rows or records of data does Excel can handle? So you can see when you go to the bottom of it, if you go to the bottom of the entire Excel file, you can see how many rows are there. 10 lakh 48,576. Beyond this, can you see no data was there, which means the Excel can handle roughly 10 to 11 lakhs of data only. If you open some 16 lakhs data present in an Excel, it won't show the entire 16 lakhs data. It is going to show you as a truncated data. What is the term I'm using? Truncated. Truncated data. What is the meaning of truncated data? Means only some part of the data, not entire data. That is the meaning of truncated data. So in the Excel, you're only going to get some truncated, only some part of the data, not the entire whole data present in the file. So that is the reason why Excel was not suitable for doing some big data analysis. That is the reason Excel was not being used. But why we are learning this Excel means, of course, to perform the basic analysis upon the data, some small amounts of data if you are getting. So Excel is going to be useful. For that reason also we are covering the Excel here. Okay. So remaining the other skills, as I mentioned, you can see what is a part of each and every skill, as I have been explained here. The Power BI, Python or Tableau and SQL statistics, how they are related, where they are related. So let me also cover what are the tools we are going to use. For Excel, it's a basic tool. In everybody's laptop, it would be going to have Microsoft Excel. If you have a latest version, well and good, or later or older versions also fine. Only one function is going to be changing, but remaining things in every Excel version you can find it. So Excel is a basic kind of a tool which everybody's laptop would be going to have. So there is not much required to get installations and all, right? So coming to the statistics, no tool, no programming, only mathematical formulas only involved in this. So it's going to be pretty much easy for you guys. Okay, I'll show you how to calculate an average, median, mean, okay, standard deviation, variance, and also sampling techniques, some probability concepts. Okay, so these things I'm going to teach you people in the statistics, whatever is required for a data analyst background. Okay, again I'm repeating, all the skills are with respect to the data analyst domain only. Okay, now in this statistics class there is no tool required. Coming to the SQL, you need to use the MySQL. Okay, we are going to use the MySQL workbench. MySQL workbench, we also call it as. So MySQL workbench is the tool which we are going to use. The SQL version which we are going to discuss in this class is about MySQL. Okay, anywhere it can be SQL Server, or it can be the Oracle, or it can be the PostgreSQL. Everywhere you go, SQL syntaxes are going to stay same only. If you can learn this MySQL, maximum 90 to 95% of the times your syntax stays the same. If you can learn this SQL here, you can write it in the SQL Server, or you can write it in the PostgreSQL, or in the Oracle. We call it as in PLSQL. So wherever you go, the SQL syntax stays same. Maximum 90 to 95% of the times. Small areas it will change, but logic development is crucial for you here. So that is what is my focus is on this SQL. Wherever you learn, the logic development needs to be understood. So that is what here we are going to focus on. Okay. Now this MySQL workbench installation, I would be going to help you people. So once you can install this MySQL workbench, this is how the landing page of the SQL workbench is going to be. Okay, so I will help you in this installation part and how to make the server connection. Once you connect to your server, this is how your page is going to look like. So you can see we are all having some of the kind of classes being went on. So on the left hand side of this place you can see all the different types of databases, or else on each and every table what are the columns in that table, like this kind of things you can able to understand. And this is the place where you will be going to write down your queries. Okay, and here is the place where the outputs are going to be seen. So everything is going to be pretty much easy. The installation of MySQL workbench, I would be going to help you in understanding. Okay, so easily you people can do this MySQL workbench installation, no problem at all. Now I will also show you people at the time of explanation of the skills, what is present in each and every tool, what are all the options you have, how to write down these queries. So simply you people can do, these are all SQL classes which in our day-to-day classes also going to happen. Every skill I will explain what is the question and how can you solve that particular question in the easiest manner. I will try to explain all the persons here. Okay, the structured problem solving is important. For a problem, how can you understand it, how can you solve it, how to verify your outputs, these are all things I will be going to cover in the SQL. Again I'm saying SQL is a very, very important skill. Even though you don't know the Excel or statistics or Python or even Power BI, also you can get a job as a data analyst if you can learn and have a much grip of SQL. Suppose you went for an interview, you people have asked for the questions of SQL and Python. You have answered very well in the SQL and Python. You are here and there somewhat missed the questions, but still you will get a job because you're strong in SQL. Sorry. But if you do the same thing, suppose you have answered everything in the Python, but you have missed a few questions in the SQL, forget, you will not get the job because SQL is having that much of importance. But only SQL won't give you the job. But SQL is important along with the other skills like Python, Power BI, or Tableau. If you can have those skills, that is going to be the main thing. SQL is a very, very, very important skill among all the skills I mentioned as a data analyst. If you can learn that SQL much better, you can apply for a business analyst role, you can apply for a data engineer role, data analyst role, even for the data science role. Okay, multiple roles are there. I will also tell you what are those different roles. You can get it here. Okay, now let me move forward to explain about the next skill, which is about the Power BI. Here we are going to use about the Power BI desktop. Okay, we're going to install the Power BI desktop, which is again a free software. You no need to pay any subscriptions for this. Not even for Power BI, any skill you are using here, any kind of a tool, you no need to take any subscriptions. It's a free of cost tools. I'll tell you how to install them freely. So the Power BI desktop is again a free tool. So that is how the Power BI landing page is going to look like. So once you can click on this blank report, or once you can connect to your data, it can be having, you can see SQL server. From there you can get the data from the Excel files, you can upload your data. So I'll show you how you can do this integration with the MySQL also, and you people can create the visualizations upon this. Okay, so you can see in our one of the project which we have been discussed recently in the other batches also. So you can see this is how we can able to show our students of creating the nice reports in the Power BI desktop. Okay, so it was actually still loading. So in this Power BI desktop, we are going to create the visualizations. Creating the reports is what I mean to say. This process is called as for data visualization. Representing the data in the form of charts and graphs is called as data visualization, right? So we are going to create some project report as well based on some of the bank related data. You can see this kind of nice visualizations, and we are going to do this kind of a projects as well in our classroom. Okay, so this is related to the Power BI desktop. Okay, related to the next one, which is Power BI server, which is used to collaborate and manage these tools. What are the reports you are going to create in the desktop? We will discuss much more deep about that in the Power BI classes. Okay, and next thing is about the Tableau. Tableau, here we are going to use Tableau Public. Okay, we're going to use the Tableau Public. So in the Tableau Public also, it's again a free tool. So the Tableau Public is going to look in this manner. So this is the kind of project which we are going to do in the Tableau as well. So in the Tableau also, it is a very easy, guys. This is actually some kind of a project which we have been done recently. It was not complete solution. So some of the IPL related data set we have been taken, and we have been created some nice visualizations upon the project in the Tableau also. Okay, you can see it's all related to the sports related data: toss stations, toss winner, umpire names. These related IPL data set we are going to use for this Tableau. So overall here the Tableau is going to be the tool which we are going to use is Tableau Public. 15 hours of class is going to be in that. So this all time duration whatever I mentioned, don't, it can be SQL 25 to 30 hours, or all durations are including your project solution discussion also. Okay, project solution also I'll discuss in the time frame. Okay, now coming to the Python. So many of you might be having some fear about the Python. So don't worry about that. It would be going to be easy, guys. You no need to much worry about the Python. In the Python, we are going to use the Jupyter notebook. We're going to use the Jupyter notebook. So this Jupyter notebook is going to be installed through Anaconda software. Direct installation is not possible for the Jupyter notebook. So that is the reason why we're going to use the Anaconda software. So this is actually an Anaconda software. In this, you can see multiple tools will be present. Jupyter Lab. This is a Jupyter notebook which we are going to use. Once you install the Anaconda software and you can click on launch of this Jupyter notebook, it will take you to your one of the browser, either Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. You can see I have been chosen for the Google Chrome, and you can see this is the home tab of Jupyter notebook. You can see this is a Jupyter, and these are the live kind of folders in your laptop. Upon this, I used to create one few notebooks in this downloads folder. You can see this is how it is going to look like once you create this Jupyter notebook for a new page. So this is how the Jupyter notebook is going to look like. It's like a cell by cell. You can see this is a cell, right? Here you can write down some program. Later you can increase the cells. It's not like in any other developer side. I mentioned, right? Python in the data analysis is going to be easy. It's not any full stack Python, or it's not any full stack Java kind of programming you won't do here. Simple way you are going to perform the analysis. You're going to read your data into the Python, do some data cleaning upon this, prepare some visualizations also, and that final result you can export it and that exported data can be uploaded into Power BI or Tableau also. So that is very much easy here in the Python, guys. Okay. So in this manner, here in this particular cell, you will write down 3 to 4 lines. You'll observe the code. Again, in this cell, you will write down some 3 to 4 lines. You'll observe what is the data output was coming. In this manner, you people can able to write down. Okay. This is going to be very easiest kind of a tool again in the Python for data science or data analysis also. Okay, so in this way the Python is going to be covered for you guys. The Python is going to be in the 35 hours of session. I'm going to explain the concepts from the basics of Python. I will be going to be more kind of focused in the Python because students will be having some fear about the programming, or some of you might don't have any technical knowledge in the Python. So I will be going to start from the basics. It is basics in the sense what are the data types, what is a variable, what is a loops concepts, the conditional statements. Okay, everything I'll going to start from the basics onwards and explain you with the 4 libraries, which is going to be what are the libraries I'm going to cover here. And I'm going to cover NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and then Seaborn. These are the 4 libraries which I am going to teach you. Before the 4 libraries, I will cover the core concepts of the Python. Okay. So in every skill, I am going to start from the basics to the advanced so that each and every student can able to learn much better here. Okay. All the skills are going to be followed in the same process. And as I mentioned, all of these are going to be taught by me only. No separate faculty is going to come for you. So these tools, whatever I have shown you, for SQL, I have shown you SQL Workbench, Power BI Desktop, I have shown Tableau Public, I have shown Anaconda Software, I have shown. All these installations are free. You no need to take any subscriptions. Okay, don't take any money outside, or you don't give any money outside and install. I'll provide you the installations freely only in this course. Okay, so regarding the next part of the things, like materials, I have, I guess, shown you how the sample materials are going to be shown. Like what is the material we are going to share in the Excel. I guess I have shown you people. It's like a textbook for you. You can refer to that. Whatever the concepts I'm going to discuss, or even more, also can be present in the textbook. Okay, so that you can refer to those. No need to write down any running notes. If you can write it, no problem. I can also suggest it, because some points you might feel important. You can write it down. But if you don't write, also nothing is going to happen. Daily notes, I guess you people might have received the recordings of the session, right? So people who haven't yet received, please send us your email ID in the chat box. Today also you people are going to get the recording session. Tomorrow also you people will get the recording sessions, so you can go through them. So in these recordings you will be going to get the notes also. I hope everybody might have got the notes, yesterday's notes, whatever I explained, right? So in the same way, I'll be going to do in the every class also. The notes is going to be shared whenever, because some classes, what is going to happen means there is nothing to write at that time. Only practical things when I'm showing. Notes can't be available at that time. Code, whatever we are using, whichever is present, I'll send you people. Okay. So remaining data set wise, everything you're going to get on the same day within half an hour after the completion of the class. People will get the recording of the session. Okay. So recordings wise, you will not face any problem. The recordings are pretty much crucial. So because nowadays, now and then when you miss a class, no problem. You can go through the recording and you can attend the next class. So remaining things regarding in this particular data analysis, tomorrow's class, I would be going to start with the statistics. Statistics is where I'm going to explain you regarding the calculations and how to find out the descriptive summary about a data. Okay, I'll show you the mathematical formulas and all, so that we can able to easily learn this. So now I would be going to discuss the things that are related to, I guess I have been explained you the technical way of the steps that are involved in the data analysis. And I would like to discuss with you people regarding what is the type of some of the basic terminology in this data analysis. Some of the basic terminology in the data analysis I wanted to discuss with you people. This basic terminology is pretty much important for you to understand regarding few terms. Okay, so one more small thing I want to explain you guys regarding the soft skills or communication skills, because when you attend for the interviews, that is also important, right? So no separate sessions of communication skills or soft skills are provided here, but my suggestion is, as a person, even when I am taking some kind of a coaching, or when I am in the college, everybody, we are in the college, so you no need to take a separate kind of a coaching for the communication or a soft skills. You try to listen to the classes. I'm going to again explain all the classes in the English only, so you try to focus what are the terms I'm using. how I am going to explain the data in the classroom, you try to understand that particular terminology. That is going to be your communication skill also. But still, people who have uh, are unable to understand during the class any concept in the English, you can please reach out to me later also in the any other language. I can also explain any other languages, since I don't know much all the regional languages. So maximum if I try to explain in uh, other language also, if I am know that, definitely I'll try to do that. Okay, if in the class you're unable to ask your doubt also, you can personally reach out to me, either in the offline class or in the people in the online also. You can take my number and you can contact me. If required, I can also come on a Google Meet and we can uh, clarify your doubts there also separately after the session. Okay, I will be maximum try to clarify the students doubt as soon as possible whenever it is required. Okay, so regarding the basic terminology that I wanted to make you understand, guys, I wanted you to understand regarding what is what are the types of data. But before that, what is the data actually? Data means, yesterday I mentioned, right? Yesterday, in the sense, the last class, data is some information is what I mentioned. But if I wanted to make you understand with any other new terminology, I would say data is simply some raw facts or some kind of a figures. It can be qualitative and quantitative. Am I right? Let me explain those terms. So data was nothing but what I mentioned. It's about raw facts or figures or some information. Sorry, that can be quantitative or or qualitative data. So what is this meant by quantitative or qualitative? Means data was based on two types. Okay, there are different segregations you can make about the data types, but here, based on the type of data, it is of two types. One is quantitative, qualitative. Quantitative in the sense, it is what in the name itself says, quantity. Generally quantity in the sense, for suppose if you are ordering some kind of food item, so you might order two biryanis or three biryanis. Three or two is actually what number of items or number of biryanis there. That is actually quantity. So quantity in the sense, always it's a numerical data. So always remember, guys, it's a very basic thing. As a data analyst, we should know this terminology. So I'm going to spend some time in explaining you these things. So numerical information can be considered as quantitative. In the numerical also, you can have again different types. Integers without any decimal place. Suppose if you take 100 as a number, it's an integer. For the same 100, if I place 289, 100.289, that's becoming a decimal value. We can also consider that as here float. Okay, this is what actually it's a decimal number. We can also call it as a float. And in the above, this is actually integer. We call it as an integer. There is no other name. Int or integer, we call int. Int stands for int, nothing but integer. So here, your number, both of these can be what? Quantitative only. This is what? Quantitative data. What about qualitative data? Best example can be your name. Your name itself is what? Text. It's called as a string. For example, if you take my name, so my name, it is not involving any numbers in that. Even though you have some number, in the history, we used to have, suppose Charles 1, Charles 2, like that names used to have Roman numbers. So they used to write down in that manner. Even though you have some one alphabet, if you have in that number, that is considered as a string data. So this, my name, all of them are alphabets. So this is considered as what? Text or string, or else your qualitative data. Qualitative data, your names, the fruit names, or the country name, or your city name, okay, or your subject names, or the technology names, everything that are included apart from numbers. If you don't have in apart from the numbers, what else is present, we consider that as a qualitative. But you might get one doubt. Suppose you take, for example, your email address. Suppose I am writing an email address in this manner, harish123@gmail.com. So in this place, there is a numerical values included. What about this @ symbol? We call it as special characters. What is it called it as? A special characters. special characters. What are special characters actually? If you're in your keyboard, if you can observe, apart from the numbers and alphabets, you can see there will be some exclamation symbol, at the rate, hashtag symbol, dollar symbol, percentage, cap, ampersand, star, brackets, hyphen, underscore, or even plus symbol, or a comma symbol, full stop. These are all, so many are there still. These are all considered as special characters. They are not numbers and they are not alphabets also. Alphabets in the sense simply A to Z. Apart from the alphabets A to Z and numbers, your other things can be considered as your special characters. Okay. So now here what I mean to say, whatever the text or value I have been taken, harish123 at the rate gmail.com, that is considered as a text data, qualitative data only. Don't think that here number is there, so this can be quantitative data. No, if you can see, along with the numbers there are alphabets and special characters are present, which is making that entire thing as what? Qualitative data. If you see, I am storing one number called as 100. Okay, I'm having one number called as 100. 100 is actually a number, but if I can say that 100a, that would become a string value. So one character, we call it as in one alphabet or one special character, if it is entering into number, that thing will become a qualitative data. Okay, I guess you people have got some idea regarding what is a qualitative data. So qualitative data can be, it can be strings, or else text data. Okay, or else text data. So this data, it can be of various types, like a quantitative or a qualitative, based on the numbers or based on the alphabets, like that. But this data you can again try to segregate into three more types. Normally, type of data, how you are going to store, how you are going to get. Based on that, again the data was of three types. First data type is going to be unstructured data. Second one is structured data. Okay, and the third type is, please someone please check your mic. Ravi, can you please check your mic? Okay, the third type of data can be semi-structured data. Okay, so the types of data, based on how you are going to get that data, it is actually of three types: unstructured data, structured data, and then semi-structured data. So coming to the unstructured data, what is meant by unstructured data? Means the data which is not coming in a proper format. It was not in an organized manner. Organized manner in the sense coming in some tabular. If I say, show you some kind of a tabular format data, for example, let me just quickly show you some sample data. uh, okay, if you just see, look at this data, whatever the data you are having on your screen, it is properly organized. You are having it in some rows or some columns. This is called as a column, right? The vertical things are column, column A, column B, column C. In that actually you have some names also: age column, eligible column, job column, marital column, like this. This is what it's a row. It's called as a row. The horizontal entries are rows or records. What is the term I am calling as? Rows or else records. And I am also able to call the columns or else fields. Columns or else fields. Here your data needs to be in a proper organized manner, but if it is not coming in an organized manner, that type of data we consider as an unstructured data. So data, what I can call it is data without a predefined format. There is no kind of a predefined format. So what can be the example for this? Such as images, audio files, or else the video files. They are also data only for you, but that is not come in a proper format. There is no proper format available for an audio files or video files or any images. That is called as an unstructured data. What is meant by structured data? As the name itself says, opposite of unstructured, which is properly coming in a format. So we call that as a structured data. So the data that is organized, data that is organized in a in a tabular form. In a tabular form, whenever you see tabular form, you should come to your mind is rows and columns, rows and columns format. So the data analyst job is going to be upon this structured data. As a data analyst, the SQL which we are going to use is on this structured data only. The structured data is the most important one, which as a data analyst you are going to handle. So the example for a structured data can be this one. This is an example for your structured data. This structured data, it was in both rows and columns format. This is actually a row as I mentioned, and this is actually a column. So the rows and column format data is in the proper table. It is a structured data for us. As a data analyst, you are going to handle the structured data. So once you can see, the next type of data is going to be the semi-structured data. What is semi-structured data? Not completely predefined or not completely organized. In between. It was, I can say, partially organized. Partially organized data can be considered as semi-structured data. So data that is partially organized. So what can be the example for this is going to be, you can say like JSON files, notepad files, or else XML files. I will show you a small example for this JSON or XML files, how it is going to be. Suppose this data is there. You can just consider this particular data set. This is actually first record, right? I will show you how this can be written in the unstructured. Okay, let me just take it in this place. So you'll be going to write down in a curly brackets. So what is the first column name? Age is the first column name. What is the value under this age? 58. So 58 comma. Next one is what? Eligible. That is a column name. What is the value under that eligible for the first row? Y. Okay. And then next thing is going to be what? Job. What is the value for that? Management. Okay. And next thing is what? Marital. Marital column. The column name is marital. And what is the name of that marital? I mean, what is the value present in the marital for the first column, first row? Married. So in this manner, you can keep on entering your details and you will close the bracket at the end. These all details are actually what of first record. What about the second record? Then you need to place a comma here and again write down the same thing. Age 44, eligible, Y, job, technician, marital, single, education, secondary. Should keep on writing in this manner. How many rows you have, those many times this pattern needs to be repeated. So this is not like any image or not like an audio file. It was not properly organized also. Somewhat you can able to understand, okay, age value is 58. Here the eligible value is Y. Here the job value is management. Like that you can able to understand, but not completely organized in nature. So that is what here you can consider as a semi-structured data. So semi-structured data can be, for example, this is like a JSON files data or XML files, or it can be notepad files like that. So that is a small example for the semi-structured data. So unstructured data example can be any audio file, any image in your mobile, that can be considered as an unstructured data. There is no proper format present for that. Okay, so this is the type of data we are going to handle. And as I mentioned, as a data analyst, our day-to-day job in the companies are going to be upon this structured data. Means the data would be coming in a proper tabular format in the form of rows and columns. Okay, so because of which it would be easy for us. We can't able to analyze some audio files or video files, and we can't able to at the same time analyze the JSON or XML files also. So that is the reason why in the real-time scenarios, most of the data would be stored in the tabular format in the rows and columns. Okay, so that is regarding the things I wanted to explain in today's class, guys. I wanted you to understand what is the data and what is the type of data we are going to handle and all. Okay, so as I mentioned, in the coming class, we are also going to discuss about what are the types of analysis we are going to perform, because types of analysis is there related to some statistics. I'll explain what is the type of data in this quantitative and qualitative also. There again, there will be some types of data will be different, because as I mentioned today only, I have shown you two types of data in the quantitative. One is decimal, other one is integer. So based on that also, you can have again some other types in the quantitative, qualitative. So I'll explain those with examples, not just on the theoretical basis. With examples, I will show everything. so that you can understand it easily. So that theoretical concepts should be there in the statistics, and mathematical formulas will be there, because there is no tool actually present, because of which I can't able to show practically like in the Python or SQL. Okay, but don't worry, in the coming ways we will be going to have in a much more better skills going to come at the time. All the practical things I will show you people in front of you people in the classroom. Okay, so I'd like to stop up to here for today. So can you please let me know if you have any doubts? Anybody have any doubts, you can please ask me your doubts. I'm stopping up to